Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. A to Z, that's what we call this show. In case you don't know, or in case this is your first time you're joining us, get to know that this is where we give you the best, nothing less, the best. So we have guests coming through, we strip them down to the bone, and if possible, we try to check their white and red blood cells. I don't know if you're going to do that today. And today I have our very own, the man, I don't know why, the Ameyaw Debrah on the hot seats. We the Zongo countryman Zongo na kana some was say Ejana Shewa Obeba. So me sure say Ejana She Yambra. So he's here with us this morning. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about life. Let's talk about marriage. Is that permitted? Or you're single?
No, I'm married, so
You're married.
you can't talk about that.
Any
too.
kids?
Only one.
Only one.
And then I have a few more footballers that are my children, but I didn't give birth to. So yeah.
Okay, that's beautiful. So currently, I think some time ago, I heard that you wanted to quit blogging and enter into medical school. Are you going to be a native doctor or?
I lied. I was going to be a rhinoplastic surgeon, but I was joking. I think it was Easter time, and
You said you wanted to be what?
a rhinoplastic surgeon. So people
Rhino.
who work on noses.
Oh, okay.
So if your nose is too big, we can ship it for you, make it very narrow and nice and sexy. Yeah.
I hope Acrobat would be okay.
So I mean, a lot of people nominated Acrobat to be the first person I performed the surgery for. But I gave him a call and he said he's afraid one day that cry. But like I was saying, it was just a joke. Easter time, I was going through my old pictures. I saw one that I was actually interviewing a proper surgeon. And so I just suited up in his office where he operates. So I just posted it and joked about it, but it went too far. People started writing articles that had really stopped blogging. Radio stations were calling. In fact, that same week I was sick. I went to the hospital. One patient saw me. I was like, "Oh, so this is where you are. This is where you are working now." I'm like, "Charlie, it was a joke." Yeah. So I mean, that's why that came about.
Okay. I think that's explains everything.
Yep.
Because I actually thought you were going to be a doctor.
I mean, I could be. I went to school. I did general science. I was doing biology. I was doing chemistry. I was doing math. I was doing physics. So I'm a sharp guy. I could have been a doctor.
A sharp guy.
I just found passion for something else, and then here we are.
So brings us to passion.
Mm-hmm.
You found a passion for something else.
Yeah.
So we should assume or believe that this passion is blogging.
Yes. I mean, it wasn't so much at the initial stages clearly blogging, but I was somebody growing up. I love entertainment. And so I was. I wasn't an active player, but I was a consumer. And so when eventually I started creating content, I knew it had to be entertainment because that was something that I liked growing up. And so it became natural. But it started with me writing for a magazine. And then when internet became a thing, I started putting a bit of myself on there. And I realized that people were liking what I was doing. So it's just now became a natural progression. And then gradually, it started being called a thing as blogging. And so I found myself in the evolved with it. And yeah, so.
Okay, so let's take the clock back. You said when internet became a thing. I don't want to believe you were born 1972.
Well, I mean, when internet became a thing here, because even when it became a thing, let's face it, it started with dial-up. And it was quite expensive. It was plugged into your phone network. It was quite slow. That's how it started. And then it gradually now started working on mobile phones, specific mobile phones.
So you had the WAP trick experience.
All of those things. We had to go through that. But it was when it got to the stage where it was everywhere, penetration-wise, and even in terms of the technology where it has got into. It was more accessible. It was more rapid. That's when it became a thing. Like I said, that's what I meant.
So I learned that you went to a disco.
Yeah. Santa Claus. I finished in 2000.
2000.
2000, yeah.
SHS.
Yeah.
2000.
Magbo. So yes, I mean that was when I went there. I was doing general science, and then while I was there, I joined the Writers and Debaters Club. I mean, even though I was doing science, most of the time I was excelling more in the arts, the English. There's only physics that sometimes I top the class.
Okay, then it brings us to those of you that were forced because of...
No, I wasn't forced. I think growing up, naturally, I had a lot of potential. I mean, there was a time...
You're multi-talented.
Yes, sort of. So when it came to art, I would exhibit something and my grandparents would think, oh, he's going to be this. And then sometimes I would exhibit something, they think, oh, he's going to be a doctor.
You're confusing everybody.
Yeah. So I think general science was just the natural thing to do. After JSS, it was a thing that was it was a natural thing for me to do, and I probably would have still done something in the sciences. But when I completed secondary school, I decided that year, that was when they were introducing, there's a new government, and then they were changing the education system. And so you could go to school immediately after you completed. You didn't have to stay 1 year at home before going. So I was like, let me just take a gamble, because I'm now competing with my year group as well as those who were ahead of
you, sure,
for admission in the university. So I was like, let me just take a gamble. Legon, the dates had expired, so there were no forms. So I jokingly went for KNUST. So when I picked up the form, I was going through the courses. I was like, I saw something called publishing studies, and for me, I thought it was media related because it's about general publishing. So I was like, let me just joke around. Let me apply for this, and then before I knew it, we got a letter.
They called you.
They sent a letter. The admission letter comes through. You've been accepted to come and do this course. Like, let's do it. So when I went, that's when I realized that it was more book making. So it was publishing with the book. But then going through the course, and even my final year, I majored in publishing administration because the course is structured into 3. You're either doing illustration, which is the design and all of that, or you're doing printing, which is the actual printing of the books, or you are doing administration, which is editing and putting everything together. But then once you start, you do all the 3 major, and then you major at I think in the final year. So I had all those sort of training, but in the final year, I think the for the first time, the department realized that internet websites was also becoming some form of publishing outlet, and so e-publishing and things like that. So now they incorporated those elements into it. And I was somebody who was always on the internet, and so when they introduced that course, I think I aced it. It was something easy. I knew how to create websites or design websites.
And all the girls were coming to you for...
Around that time, I don't know. But I think I was a very approachable, cool person, because sometimes in these states, people create cliques and then they are comfortable within their cliques, but I was somebody who is cool with everybody. So I realized that... Well, maybe. I realized that I was everywhere, and it was easy for people to...
I'm sure your wife would have left you if it was back then.
Back then? Oh, I don't think so. Because again, I am somebody, I keep to myself, so I socialize when I'm in the classroom environment, and after that, I take myself in my hostel or in my dorm, or in my hall, in my room, learning, not even learning, just relaxing and having fun.
Okay. Yeah, so can we do one for the disco boys?
Yes, what do you want?
maybe a theme song or something like peculiar to a disco.
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably a
Or your anthem.
yeah.
Let's do the anthem. Let's do the anthem.
So
And the school boys gather around. Let's do the anthem. And the school boys gather around.
so the truth is, just like a national anthem, I messed up if I'm doing it by myself. But if you're in a group, then I remember.
We want you to mess up. Mess this one up
So,
first.
so
And the school boys.
let's do this one. The saddle on the hill, for premise, welcome premise. My mate of great men, Santa Claus, yes, hey, a disco, hey, a disco, we shall never be beaten. We shall always. As I killed it.
Okay. So at the school boys, please rate this one in the comment section for me. Rate it for me.
10 out of 10.
10. Oh, he's rating himself, but please help me rate this one. Help me rate this one. So let's go back to blogging. So, I remember when I was coming up, a lot of things would be written off by parents. Say, yeah, do I go school? Say, there. What's up? Say, well, yeah, blogger, so yeah, then you get it. But then, what do you think of what this whole industry has become today?
Well, fortunately, I didn't face that. I mean, one of the reasons why I also did the publishing thing I did was also because myself and my dad, we had the plans of opening a publishing business. But unfortunately, he died right after I finished school. But when down the line I started doing publishing, my mother didn't have an issue. My family, the rest of everybody pretty much opened up. And yeah, no, I never really had any. I think we are a family that we allow people to do
what they want to do.
So right from the beginning, there was no such issue. I think by and large, the general society is opening up to what we are doing, and a lot more people have emerged in the system now, doing blogging, doing content creation, things that are not traditional kind of jobs that we are used to. But that's the times we find ourselves. We don't. I mean, there's a doctor who does a practice and is still also doing a social media thing and is gaining traction for that. So opportunities are abound in different spaces because of how the world is opening up. Technology is making it possible, and I think the world is becoming closer. People are exposed a lot more to things. I mean, growing up, if you had to even watch Cartoon Network, you had to probably have DSTV.
Captain Planet.
Yeah, DTV.
One of my OGs.
Yeah, DTV will show you something limited, but you don't have a lot of options. But now, children from rich background, from not so rich background, once they have access to internet, they are watching Cocomelon, they are learning new things. So generally, things are opening up, and I think it will help shape people's perception, especially parents, that there are lots of opportunities out there, and so we shouldn't always hold people in a box. And I think it's also important because maybe in the past, people didn't like people going to movies, into acting, music, etc., because of the kind of results that came out.
Sure.
They were not either making money, they probably didn't know how to think through it long time and make sense and impact the family. So once people are doing what we are doing, people see the success that comes with it, the responsibilities that we own up to, then it now opens their minds to this being an alternative for their children and encouraging them or supporting them when they choose that kind of path.
So let's talk about choices, right? To you right now, seated here, do you think that you made the right choice?
I probably think yes, because if I were to do it all over again, I would. I think it fits, what I do fits my lifestyle. I don't like to suffer. And so going to work for somebody 9 to
I'm
5.
not actually smiling at that.
Going to work for somebody 9 to 5. I think it's just physically. I will probably break down. I mean, I did national service, and that's how the first time I was ever working. But
Soft life.
soft life is good. I mean, you can still work.
No. You are not getting me. You said the first ever time you worked as an individual was national service.
National
That's
service.
soft life. And people,
But I think
people. No, wait.
it's also the life for most Ghanaians, because
No, that's not true.
it is. Because,
People straight from after JBC,
yeah, because
you have to start something.
no,
After SHS, you have to start
for
something.
most Ghanaians, it's school, and then
Those are the
the
people.
system.
Soft life.
No, it's for most people. You go to JSS, your vacation. There's no vacation sort of job you can do. The system wasn't built like that, so it was most of the time going to be because which company realistically would now say, okay, I'm acquiring JSS.
We are not talking
time
about
to-
companies. You are talking about our local or say traditional jobs.
Like what? What's a traditional job?
Selling buffalo.
No, I didn't have to sell buffet, because maybe if somebody in the family was selling it, I'll go and support the person to sell it. But it was
Shout out to all those who sold buffalo.
yeah. So
Write in the comment section.
who was that? Yeah.
After JHS.
Oh, but
SSS.
I used to sell things. So I think I used to create in my area. I think I used to create ice cream and sell it. You know.
Hold on. Do we create ice cream? Do we create?
Well,
It means the guy didn't do this.
no, I did it. I mean, all you needed was
Ice cream there we make. Now create.
yeah, no, but you have to
Haven't-
have your own recipe, and that's where the creation comes through. Because
So you were the architect.
yeah,
But
because
you were not.
I put it together. I put the milk, add some flavor, sometimes
What
some
kind of
food color.
flavor?
I can't even remember, but
Oh God.
I think there was variety. Well, really, I remember I was probably 10 or something. Yeah, so it's a long time, but I remember.
You were 10.
Yeah, probably. So
Sharp guy.
when I closed from school, the neighborhood.
So where were you schooling after that?
So Engelbert International is in.
Listen to the name. Oh. When yes I do. Engelbert.
International side too.
Oh my God.
Shout out to my mate from Engelbert.
Oh, so please, Engelbert, for Montreal comments. Mon comment, Mrs. Sia. Okay, so let's come back to trends. And with trends, let's look at the positives and then the negatives. Let's start with the negatives. I don't know if you're on TikTok or you're active on that on there, but I want to start with the negative.
Mm-hmm.
There's this teleportation vibes. Have you heard of it? Have you seen it?
I'm not sure I have.
You haven't?
No, because I am very careful kind of content I consume. Some things just don't appeal to me. I may chance on it, and then I'll probably just scroll through. I've always been on the other side of this whole thing, more creating for people to consume. I consume less, but on platforms like Instagram, where when I log in, I see friends who also do content, then I engage with it more. So, but for TikTok, it was a platform that for a long time I was like, what is it? It's not for me. But I was there just to be there until I found my own sort of rhythm, and people were starting to
like it.
But then the Ameyaw TV content and their channels, I realized they're growing faster. They're doing things people like, and so the community is growing around that. And so I'm not TikTok is a platform I go and then I'm watching other people. I just check my comments, and then if I have to respond to somebody, that's it, and leave. Whereas for the other platforms, because of the nature and how I use it, I get to see more other content. But about what's trending, I mean, I think every now and then I comment that the platforms seem to promote certain kinds of things to trend more, and for me as a content creator, not doing those kinds of things sometimes annoys me, because I feel every content should have the chance to grow, because that's the beauty of creation. You create something because you are inspired to connect with your audience, and you want your audience to see and enjoy that content.
Exactly.
And so if by some metric, an algorithm, the content doesn't go, and then other forms of content are rather being pushed, it's quite disturbing, because a lot of the rubbish content is the one that we see. Like TikTok, for instance, you see people come on camera and just insult people blatantly. It's like that's a culture that the platforms are pushing.
Exactly.
Especially within our community, within our space. And for me, that's unfortunate. There's a lot of things to see and do and support. And it's getting worse with people being able to monetize, and it's not going to stop, but because they get the traffic from doing that
particular thing,
and they're on top of it now, they're making money. So it's something that we're going to have to deal with. There isn't an easy way out, but we are looking to see how it turns out. Yeah.
So still with trends, because I actually thought that you were preview to the teleportation vibes. So we talk about it, and the direction of this is still headed to young people growing and what we are exposing them to day in, day out. What breed of, say, content creators or generation are we creating from this current one we have? Because you realize that the silly things sell, and if you really want to break the market, then anyways, anyhow, you just have to be silly, and it's not really helping, because right now you see even older people
joining the
older people, and it's getting real crazy, crazy.
And then on the back of that, they will tell you that TikTok that seem to be pushing a lot of that, when you go to the country that created it, they don't show them that kind of content. They only show them serious content, and they are setting up and priming their minds up for serious things, whereas the rest of the world.
So it means that there's let's say, let me bring it back to Ghana, like communication ministry up there that controls what. So what are we doing here in Ghana?
Well, when it comes to this, we don't have that muscle. The best thing you can do is to ban the platform, and we can't ban it. That is easy, because of how they can ban it, but they cannot determine the kind of content that people see. But it's not just TikTok; it's everywhere. The culture is becoming sort of perpetuated and moved across all platforms.
Okay. So then we also moved to writing with respect to blogging, and this clickbait, where people are trying so hard to break the market. So we peddle informations that are very harmful, to be exact with my words, very harmful to one individual, just because another individual wants to sell. What would you say about that?
Well, I think it's a terrible practice, and it's something that we've not involved ourselves in. And when I was doing everything by myself, and when the team came on and people now handle a lot of the publishing for me, I try to let them know. I mean, we don't go all out. And I think we've been fortunate because maybe every now and then, the way we make our money, we don't chase traffic. And so even if we do a story that 100 people see, it's okay, because that's the people that need to, it has attracted them and want to read. So ours is, and then we are able to get advertising in one way or the other to cover everything we are doing. So we are not desperate and hungry that let's chase the traffic.
So you think people are just desperate and hungry?
Well, I mean, that's the only thing that can lead to that, because when people click and they go to your website, it's ends in revenue generation. So the more people, the more the people that come and read that content, and believe it or not, then the higher chances of making revenue. But we've been fortunate. That hasn't been our model. We're only chasing that kind of traffic and money. And so it allows us to sort of be a little bit more thoughtful in terms of the content we put out. And in the general scheme, unfortunately, that's it. People are creating listings so that it's business for them. They need to make their revenue and
survive.
Yeah, they need to. So it's not going to be easy. But I think in terms of checks and balances, I feel if the people putting the content out there are not checking themselves, those whose reputation is damaged, their business are affected one way or the other, should use the appropriate channels in terms of law, in terms of whatever exists to. So if you are chasing traffic and you're making it, when they sue you, that money that you've made should be able to cover your ass.
Exactly. So please, we need some good lawyers out there that would help us take some of these things on, because it's getting crazier, and then we need to curb it as soon as possible. Let's come back to life. Talk about marriage. Talk about love. Are you a lover boy?
I don't think I am. Unfortunately, I'm not the most romantic person.
So how then did you ask your woman out?
Well,
the exact words.
I can't remember. I can't remember because it didn't sort of happen like asking to go on a date. It just sort of happened.
Friends.
Yeah, and even it was friends from a distance, and then talking, meeting for the first time in person, and then now continuing to talk. So it wasn't. It was sort of. It came naturally.
So who caught feelings first, you or her?
I wouldn't know, but I think most likely it would be the woman.
Hey, you're lying on her.
No, I'm not. I'm saying when people get to know each other, communicate, the lady
what I'm trying to
build.
But what I'm trying to say is that you mean that not get any feeling.
I think that it's that's how it's supposed to be, right? Before they give in.
Feeling, brother. So
yeah, so I think by nature, since the woman perhaps says yes, so it must come in from that side. That's what I'm saying. It's a woman's decision to make, and it's her to fall, and so naturally.
And it's for the man to stand.
I think so.
So please, all the gentlemen out there who are falling anyhow, the brotherhood will not be happy with you.
I don't know. I mean, you can fall, but for the relationship to move ahead,
you have to stand.
The woman must be the one that's
on the floor,
automatically
on the floor,
falls in love.
So that will be
yeah.
So please, to all my gentlemen, keep standing, don't fall, please, we beg you.
Yeah.
Okay, so TGMA. I don't know if we should talk about it, because
I think we can,
because this particular year the back and forth is not.
It's not so much.
So much.
Yeah, I think it's also because generally everybody won awards sort of deserved it. There wasn't any major shocks here and there, and also I think now it's gotten to the point where the checkability is on the day when we hear the nominations. Is the first talking point, and then things died down, and then of course the PR people were pushing for whose artist should win Artist of the Year, will make all that noise, and then realistically on the night of the event, that speaking also starts, and I think on the night of the event, social media was awash with TGMA videos, comments, and everything in between. I think this year, the TGMA, by and large, people were happy. I mean, somebody retweeted one of the things I had posted on Twitter some 2 years ago, where I made a statement that ever since it started being broadcast on TV3, the format has changed. It was too much talk. It's like a talk show, not really an award show. and I was hoping that would change. But from what we saw on Saturday, there was actually a desk with two people seated there, and theirs was to talk. So nothing has changed. The red carpet,
We'll come to the red carpet.
yeah, they brought a team of people who host a talk show to come, and so it's that mentality like they're doing a TV show.
So the thing is it that back here, say in Ghana, is it that we don't learn? Because moving even to the fashion sense, I've seen footages from the Met Gala, I think the Nigerian AMV something,
Yeah.
and then the fashion sense and the whole design is on another level. And you come back home and someone dresses in, also your friend folk boy in see walk off for plastic forks now.
Yeah, so I think what happened is that now we must understand the fashion red carpet thing. There are those who want to make a statement in terms of wearing things that are nice and you want to wear it. And then there are those who want to go crazy and wear weird things like Met Gala. Met Gala is not, all the things that normally get attention are not the well put ones. It's the crazy things that get, and it's a platform for people to go all out and do that. So I think when it comes to the vision, it's a mixture. They're putting all of these things together.
But it looks like back here, I say low budget B. No, because at the end of the day.
No, but I mean, realistically, if you're in the US and you're going to whatever, you are dealing with the top A-list designers. If you're in Ghana, you're also going to deal with your creators from your space. And a lot of the creators from our space, the fashion designers, they do the serious stuff, wanting the person to look good and presentable. They don't go out of the world to create. So there's another group of people who do some sort of avant-garde creations, and they push the envelope, wanting the person to stand out and look some way. So if for that person, maybe going out of the box to create a dress with forks and plates, it's that thing for them. And so they will create. It's not what the traditional fashion designer is creating for them. So I think there's room for all of that. It makes it exciting.
My question is, are we going crazy?
Yeah, it's a little bit of, that's where the world is now. Even with the Nigerian ones, there are people who also were equally crazy
stuff.
People, I saw somebody in a creation like Banana that do.
Yeah, I saw that. And she was holding
Iron Man dress, somebody dressed. So it's just to get the attention, and you can get it being elegant or being crazy, because that's what the world has got into. So I don't think it's a Ghanaian thing.
So I am tempted to say that in our current world, the attention pays.
Yeah.
Like even monetarily.
Yeah, there's something that people term as attention currency, because people are monetizing the attention of people, the attention span of people. So if this voting that we are doing, we've already exceeded 30 minutes. So if imagine we are doing 1 hour and we capture somebody's attention to watch the whole 1 hour interview, and in between they're putting ads and the person is engaging with everything, we are monetizing that attention span of that person. So even if it's a very short format, and people watch everything, and then perhaps now move on to the next one and the next one and next one, we are still grabbing that person's attention and monetizing it. So that's the world we are now.
I don't know. Some of you've given all your attention to your boyfriends and your girlfriends. Just tell me how much they are paying you in the comment section, so that we'll see, because right now attention currency is what is ruling now. We'll just take one quick one on TGMA, then we'll come back to how Gen Z you are. Then we'll be moving to the close of this episode. So, people are saying that black hole is or wasn't really concerned with this particular TGMA?
No, I mean, it wasn't, the year in review wasn't so great for him. Is then obviously the new album and this year, what is going to happen throughout that he's going to be stronger for, because in all the categories he was, if you look at the year, he wasn't the standout act in those, so it's natural. I think I was so surprised when he I think, but it's in the minds of people that the buzz is getting now, so they've forgotten that we are looking at last year. And so yeah, we could have still won something, but because even him not winning, it's not out of place, because it wasn't that kind of the great year that he was the one that picked. Yeah.
Okay.
The other.
Okay. So let's get to know Ameyaw Debrah on a very personal level.
Gen Z, yeah.
So, favorite color?
Favorite color? I don't know. So I like earthy tones.
Is that the reason for this?
No, this one just because you were here. I was wearing something else and we had to do this. I had to dash in. But yeah, I like very brownish, earth kind of colors. But sometimes blue. I look good in blue. I've been told. So blue is also a favorite. But when I was young, I think if I was choosing colors for things, I was putting a lot of yellow back then. Yeah.
If there was a movie, it would have been The Yellow Man.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite scripture in the Bible?
Do I have a favorite scripture? I don't. My Bible knowledge is quite.
Or let's say one scripture that always comes to mind. If
mine is putting me on the spot.
Yeah.
My pastor is going to call me. Ameyaw Debrah. Sorry.
I never said that.
I posted one today.
Okay.
I think it was in connection with the Sami Jamfi thing. It was the chapter, I think, in 2 Corinthians about God loving a cheerful giver. So I was just making jokes about it because Sami Jamfi cheerfully gave to Agrada.
I like that. Cheerfully. The man wasn't smiling in the video.
No, but I think in his apology of sorts that he put out, he said he was a cheerful giver to somebody in need. So he's a cheerful giver to people in need.
Can we say a prayer right now? Because if in our current Ghana, people are cheerfully giving dollars.
Yeah.
And not just any dollar. From what I'm hearing, it's almost 10,000.
It's possible because there was another video of Agrada
showing the money,
and then she had counted over 60 pieces of it, and if it's $100 and 60, that's 6,000. And so, right, 60 times,
6,000.
Yeah, that's around 6,000. And then she counts. From what I saw, when she was counting, she leap jumped one of the figures and ended up at 80. So from her account, at least 80,000, but people are saying 10,000, and for whatever reason they give it to her.
So would you say this honorable shot himself in the foot?
Well, at the end of the day, he's a cheerful giver. He's giving money, but people, and for me, I don't see anything wrong with it. I think the question now people would ask is perhaps why he's giving it to her and where the money is coming from. Because that's what I'm reading the comments to be. There's a code of conduct for public figures under the Mahama administration. And let's say you are doing this is your portfolio, this is the job you're doing. We know how much you're supposed to earn. And obviously it's not enough for you to now go about dashing cheerfully 10,000.
Please, my English student, underline the word cheerfully.
Then it becomes a problem. That means that people are now going to ask questions. Where's the money coming from? And all of that. So those are the things that are going on against what happened. If I should wake up and just go and give $10,000 to a grandma, I think in the minds of
very
different.
Yeah, very wealthy man.
No, I'm working on my own. I'm not accountable to anybody.
No, I'm trying to say if you're able to give them.
If I'm able to do it, yeah. But then the reason I'll never find a reason to give a grandma money. But even if I'm Bill Gates.
We are not talking about a grandma today, so please don't come for us. Right. So people say go best life. To you, what is life?
In terms of food?
Yeah, in terms of food.
Maybe fufu. I'll probably say fufu.
Gang!
I'll probably say fufu.
Gang!
I mean, fufu has always been the picture. Growing up as a child, it was always fufu and chicken soup.
So, fufu gang.
Yeah.
Me, I can't go a week without fufu. I'll die.
Charlie.
Yeah. I'll either fall sick or something.
Something happen.
Yeah. Even yesterday, I had to go, but I want my light out.
Charlie.
But I say light out, Nino. Mama and light, Charlie.
Something has happened.
Yeah.
In the past, my area, we were not getting light off that much. And so when everybody's complaining, we are in our corner, we are like, people are suffering.
But you see how they are coming.
And then it flipped like that in a second. And, it's been, well, at least now, it hasn't been like before. We've had it a few times, we've slept in it a few times. We've even had it for more than 24 hours at some point. But I think in the last couple of days, it hasn't been too bad. You know.
What is your favorite slang?
Favorite slang? I hardly can think of something, Charlie. But what do I like to say? Because people sometimes laugh at me that I keep saying some things I repeat things. I repeat things often. Maybe I don't think I have a favorite slang.
Okay, so since this is the A to Z podcast or show, I want you to pick 3 alphabets. 3
from A to Z.
Yeah, just pick 3.
I would say
first one.
A.
Okay.
K. And D.
Okay. A, K, and D. I hope this your wife's.
Yeah, it's all my name. Ameyaw Debrah.
Oh. Okay, so carefully. A, K, and then D. So this is your question. Are you ready? Are you sure?
I'm trying to be.
So we are doing 3 different things with these letters. We are spelling. We are, since it's a sharp guy, then you should be able to spell, right? So let's take the word dichotomous.
Let's see what can do as it is.
Yeah, D.
Dichotomy. I'm going to mess it up.
Please, my professors, I don't know the spelling. I just so kindly help me.
I'm going to mess this one up.
No, let's go. You're a sharp guy. And this are the false umbra. And KNUST.
I'm going to mess it up. So I get it wrong.
No. You have to give it a try. Just give it a try.
No, I don't want to mess it up. It's wrong.
This guy is trying to be professional.
No. I admit it. It's just that now with where I am,
the thinking.
I even struggled to write with the pen because I've gotten used to typing so much that that's my life. If I'm going to, so let's go to A.
Let's go to A. So let's go to A. I don't like the way he's looking at me, actually.
Oh, but that cotton on me. I know.
You know. That's why I gave that
one. Let's go to A. Okay.
Right. So A. Give us a rhyme.
A rhyme with A?
Yes. Any rhyme maybe apple or something. But we want a rhyme in A.
I'm able, I'm capable, I'm capable. Able and capable. It's okay. A rhyme, right?
I'm able.
Able and capable. Yeah, so.
I said able, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, able, no.
Gotcha.
K. K. Okay. For K, just we want to pick something out of it. Right. So not actually necessarily having to do something with K, but then we are picking something out of it. So for K, sing us a song. Not a church song.
Abua konkutiba. Abua konkutiba. Midbenina yekase.
Where's Obuo?
Simaja.
Where's Obuo?
We got it.
Yes. Please, someone should tag Obuo for me. Tag Obuo for me.
So soon, we are here. Thank you, boss, for coming to the show. This is the A to Z show. We are so grateful for spending time and joining us on this particular episode. So the name, actually, you can ask your girlfriend because I'm sure she's in my DM. I don't know.
Nice.
But the name is Rock, the MC. And then if you really want to see me, you can join me every weekend. Hanisako for Muntu mi pay mu. Me pamocho it's Legon Mama G Muntu mi pay mu because me rani advert mamu free. So every weekend meet me Hanisako is Legon. We party throughout for your special occasions. I'm here. Let's make memories together. So again, we'll come your way. Same way we came. Yeah, we'll not knock. We'll just break in. Yeah, that's what we do. Yes. So we say peace out and we say bye-bye.